Good morning and welcome. Welcome. Today we celebrate the historical Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday. So we also call him our spiritual grandfather in our tradition. So today is the Buddha's birthday. Buddha means awakened one. And we also are reminded that we are celebrating the embodiment of truth that is always present. So the formless, boundless nature of Irwansang, which is the source of all things and the original nature of our minds. So today, let's remember that we are also celebrating our own Buddha nature. So let's begin. Today we'll have a Dharma talk, but we'll begin with movement. And we'll also have some chanting and bowing practice. I want to invite Hannah to come up and lead us this morning in movement. So if you could please rise. Let us stand in front of our cushion with our palms together. We stand before Ilwansang, one circle image, Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, and we make 4 bows. We bow in gratitude to the grace of heaven and earth, honoring the infinite, please rise, beneficence of nature and the universe. We bow in gratitude to the grace of parents, honoring the parents that gave birth to us, those that raised us, and all our teachers, ancestors, and all of those who have had a nurturing role in our lives. We bow in gratitude to the grace of fellow beings, honoring and recognizing the truth of interconnectedness. We bow in gratitude to the grace of parents, honoring the parents that gave birth to us, those that raised us, and all our teachers, ancestors, and all of those who have had a nurturing role in our lives. Maybe that needed 2. We bow in gratitude to the grace of laws. We bow in gratitude to the grace of fellow beings, honoring and recognizing the truth of interconnectedness. Maybe we need reflection. We bow in gratitude to the grace of parents.
So let's bow to each other.
Honoring the parents.
Buddhas to each other. And then you may find your seat.
So this is practice in action. Sometimes things don't go perfectly, and that's okay. This gives us time to reflect and time to settle and time to laugh at simple mistakes, which maybe are not mistakes. So let us take a moment to smile. And we've broken the tension. Sit comfortably. Rest your body with your feet on the floor. Breathe in. Breathe in with gratitude for this moment and breathe out any tension, anything that you're holding, expectation. Open up your chest and your heart. And stretch up tall and align your spine from your neck to your tailbone. Relax your shoulders and arms, and then allow your hands to rest on your knees. Be aware of your breath. As you exhale, release all mental and physical tension. And gently invite your attention to abide in your chi energy field, which is called Danjan. And this is located about 2 inches below your navel and is the power center for your breathing. When thoughts arise in your mind, do not be discouraged or disturbed by them. Simply focus on your breathing without reacting to or playing with those thoughts. Just recognize them as thoughts and they will disappear by themselves. And remember to keep bringing your awareness back to your dungeon breathing center. With continuous practice, you will rest in the realm of samadhi, which is deep meditation, in which the mind is calm, concentrated, perfectly focused, and at peace with no distinction between self and others, time and place. We are grateful to sit quietly together, finding the still point within. May we be here now, aware of our ever calm and alert spirit. a moment to open up your chant books to page 10. We will recite the 3 refuges. Taking refuge is like remembering where home is. So when the mind is scattered, when life feels uncertain, we return to the truth in this very moment as it is. So we will recite together the refuges, taking refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. Now we'll continue our meditation practice with chanting the Ilwansang vow and the Heart Sutra, and that's on pages 4 and 5. So it'll be led by John.
Song vow. One is the realm of samadhi beyond words and speech, the gateway of birth and
vibrations, pulses, and consciousness. Shariputra, all dharmas are empty, they do not appear or disappear. Tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. Emptiness, no form, no sensations, no perceptions, no impulses, no consciousness. Eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. Form, no sound, no smell, taste, no touch, no object of mind. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind consciousness. Ignorance nor extinction of ignorance. Old age and death nor extinction of them. Suffering, no cause of suffering. Cessation of suffering. Path, no wisdom, no attainment. No thing to attain. The Bodhisattva relies on Prajnaparamita. For the mind has no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Free from delusion, one dwells in nirvana. Buddhas of the past, present, and future rely on Prajnaparamita and attain supreme enlightenment. For know that Prajnaparamita is the great mantra. The great enlightening mantra is the unsurpassed and unequaled mantra, which is able to eliminate all suffering. True, not false, so proclaim the Prajnaparamita mantra, which says, gone, gone, gone beyond, far beyond, now awaken, gate, gate, para gate, para samgate, bodhisattva, gate, gate, para gate, para samgate, bodhisattva, gate, gate, para gate, para samgate, bodhisattva.
Take a moment to stretch your body, bringing attention to your neck. Roll the neck in one direction and the other direction. Let's twist from one side. Give the spine a stretch to the other. And bring the arms up high. Really take a stretch. And you can release. Breathe out. You can relax your legs and make yourselves comfortable. Today we are honored to have a Dharma talk by Reverend Ginger. And the title of her talk is Holding the Way, Learning to Use Who We Are. So let's please bring our palms together to welcome Reverend Ginger.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Have you ever said something like this? I'm just impatient. I'm the kind of person who needs time. I have a strong personality. We usually say these things to explain ourselves, and often they are true. We all have certain tendencies. None of them is bad in itself. But at some point, this is how I am can become, this is why I don't have to change. This is me. Our personality does not stay inside us. It comes out in our words, our decisions, and our relationships. this can be a gift, but this can also become the place where we keep getting stuck. So as we celebrate the Buddha's birthday this morning, I'd like to reflect on the middle way, the path that led the Buddha to awakening. And this morning, I'd like to think about this middle way as a practical method to work with our personality. So what is the middle way? We heard this middle way, I think, often. And actually, at the beginning of this service, when some things not going as we planned, like we bowed twice to the grace of parents, I felt something inside me. And I thought about this middle way. What's the middle way in this uncertain, unexpected situation? So the middle way is often explained with an image of tuning a string instrument. If the string is too tight, it may break. If it is too loose, it doesn't make a clear sound. Only when it is tuned just right, it can make its most beautiful sound. It is the spirit of middle way. It is fitting, it is balanced, and it is harmonious. So how do we practice the middle way when it comes to our personality? The personality that we have. How do you practice the middle way? I think practicing the middle way means learning not to be pulled around by our personality. In other words, it is to learn how to use our personality wisely so that our words and actions become more balanced and harmonious. Master Chongsan, the second head Dharma master of Won Buddhism, taught that people have different personalities and temperaments. And every personality, every temperament contains both strengths and weaknesses. It reminds us that we do not have to hate our personality, but at the same time, we cannot use it as an excuse. A quick person is not wrong for being quick. A slow person is not wrong for needing time. The same is true of every type of personality. But every personality needs practice. Because each strength, every strength, when it loses the middle way, can become a weaknesses. So Master Chongsan said, through practice, our personality can mature, helping us live a more balanced, harmonious life. And I think this is deeply compassionate teaching. We don't have to deny who we are. So let's take a look at several common temperaments. And the first one is a quick temperament. Quick temperament. Some people naturally move quickly. They see what needs to be done. They make a decision and start things. And Melissa is smiling. Why is that? This can be a real gift. In a family, we need this kind of people. In a community like this One Dharma Center, we need this kind of person. Because when something needs to move forward, a quick person helps everyone move. But when this quick temperament loses the middle way, it can become impatience. Others may feel rushed and unheard. And a quick person may not wait for others. So the practice for a quick temperament is not to become slow, but to add little spaciousness inside the speed. So they can listen one more before they speak. They can let other people finish. They can take a breath before offering an idea. I recognize this temperament a lot in myself. So for example, during meals, at meals, I usually eat faster than others because I don't naturally enjoy the small talks or long conversations during a meal. So as soon as I finish my meal, I'm ready to do the dishes and move on to what comes next. It's just fine. I love myself. But during a retreat, we usually work as a team or in pairs. Then my quickness can affect others. Others may feel rushed. And also, I feel frustrated when others do not move at my speed. And I think, why is everyone so slow? So what do I do to balance this, my temperament, is that I intentionally slow down. Not to lose my energy, but to make room for others. So I can pause and ask, shall we start together? And through that, I can shift my energy from finishing quickly to working together with more ease. So this is how I practice the middle way. How about a direct temperament? Some people value honesty. They speak clearly. They do not like to hide what they think, and they need to say plainly when they see something is wrong. This can be a real gift because they bring clarity and help people see what needs to be corrected. But when this temperament loses the middle way, it can become sharpness. They may think that I am only being honest, but others may feel judged or pushed away. They may think I'm only speaking the truth, but in a way that makes people close their hearts. So also I find myself in this temperament. So in this case, the practice, the middle way, is not to become unclear or hide the truth, but to add little warmth to honesty. So they can pause and ask, is this helpful? Is this the right time? Can this be said with more warmth? What about a sensitive temperament? Some people are very sensitive and attentive. They notice small things. They take things seriously. And they listen carefully. And they reflect deeply on themselves. This can be a real gift. But when a sensitive temperament loses the middle way, it can become, can you tell, over-attachment. Even a small comment may stay long, and they may be discouraged, ashamed, or trapped by one difficult moment. On the other hand, others are lively and carefree. They are open, cheerful, and they move quickly. Quick to move on to the next. So that they bring lightness into a room. But when this liveliness loses the middle way, it can become carelessness. Even someone corrects them, they do not take it seriously and act too lightly and freely. without much reflection. So these two temperaments need two different types of practice. A sensitive person needs to learn how to let go. A lively person needs to learn how to reflect more deeply. The middle way helps each person find the balance they need. Master Chongsan offered many other examples, such as being serious, having high ideals, holding big visions, practicing diligently, having dignity, being upright, being gentle, being relaxed, and so on. Do you see your temperament in these examples? Yes? And remember, none of them is bad in itself. In fact, each one can be a real strength. But any strength without the middle way can become a problem. So question we need to ask is not, is my personality good or bad? But how can I use this personality or temperament wisely with balance? So when we hold the middle way, our temperament becomes something useful. It is a gift, not a burden. Then how do you practice the middle way? When our personality is already rising up. I'm so the person. I'd like to offer 3 words. And we learned this from yesterday's class when we had this One Buddhism introduction class. So those 3 words are pause, reflect, act. Pause, reflect, act. It sounds simple, but it does not always simple and easy when we try to put these into practice. So let's take a look. The first is pause. Our practice always begins with this moment of pause. So before a quick person moves too fast, pause. Before a direct person speaks too sharply, pause. Before a sensitive person holds too tightly, pause. Before a lively person moves on too lightly, pause. And we need to pause. So important. But pause is not doing nothing. A pause is the moment of reclaiming the mind. We bring the mind back. We center the back. So the first practice is simple. Do not react immediately. Take one more breath. Let other people finish. Wait before sending a message and say, let me get back to you later. So this small pause may look ordinary, but it is the beginning of the middle way. And in that pause, we can ask, am I reacting from habit or responding from my center? And after pause, what do? We reflect, not to blame ourselves and others, but to see clearly, to see what's happening inside me, and ask, is this my strength or weakness? Is quickness becoming impatience? If directness becoming sharpness, is sensitivity becoming over-attachment? Is liveliness becoming carelessness? So this part of practice, pause and reflect, may not take that long, maybe with just one breath. And we can see clearly. And once we do that, we are not trapped by our habit. And our personality becomes material for practice, something we can work with. And after pause and reflect, what do? Act. We need to act. So the middle way does not stay as a good idea, but it has to be something like actions. So it must become a word or a concrete actions. But the action does not have to be big. Back to a quick person, it may be slow down and ask, shall we start together? A direct person speak truth with little more warmth. A sensitive person may take the comment seriously, but not carry it all day. A lively person may pause and ask, is there anything I can learn from here? So this is how the middle way becomes real, not changing our whole personality, but by making one different choice in the moment when we usually react the same way. So practice is simple. Pause and notice the habit rising. Reflect and see whether this is my strength or weaknesses. And act by choosing one harmonious action. So when we repeat this small practice, our personality become less likely a master that controls us, but become more like a tool that helps us mature. A well-rounded character does not come from having a perfect personality, but it comes from our practice. And each temperament has its own gift. But without the middle way, now we know, even a gift can become a source of suffering. So the practice is not to blame your personality, not to be ruled by it, but use it as material for practice. Pause, reflect, and act. When small acts accumulate, our personality becomes more refined, our relationship becomes honest and gentle. Our character becomes more balanced and harmonious. So on this Buddha's birthday, I hope we all take this opportunity to practice the middle way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Ginger, for your wise words. Did you find your temperament? I did. So let's open our booklets to page 10. So whatever temperament we are, no matter what temperament, if we are directed by our vow, then we have that ability to pause and come back to what is our direction? What are we? What is our vow in life? So we will recite together the 4 great vows. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to save them. Delusions are endless. We vow to eliminate them. Teachings are infinite. We vow to learn them. Supreme enlightenment is inconceivable. We vow to attain it. So now let me welcome the Kyomanims to come up and share their beautiful voices to sing the 4 great vows for us.
We don't the highest path thou wilt attain. I vow to love infinite Dharma with all my power, with all my heart, the path of Buddha, the highest path I will attain.
So beautiful. Encore. So let me share a few announcements with you. So on May 31st, we have our spiritual memorial service. So that commemorates our teacher, founding teacher, Master Sotasan, our teachers, and also anyone in your life, loved ones that have passed away. So we invite you to sign up online. You can add your name, so we pray for each one of those people. And on that day, you can bring a photo in of your loved one as well. So next Sunday, we also have guest speaker, Reverend Doyan from Manhattan Temple. So she will be here giving a Dharma talk on Sunday service. And to close today, let us pause, take a moment, and we will dedicate the merit of this practice to two people. To two practitioners that are dear to us. And the first one is Jeffrey Bosler, and his mother is in the last moments of her life. And we also will dedicate to Michael Hodgkins, who is struggling with his health at the moment. So if we could just take a moment to bring our palms together and quietly hold them in our hearts and in our minds, even if you do not know them. Their names, Jeffrey and Michael. So we take refuge in the Buddha, in our teacher, in the Buddha within, in our own nature. We take refuge in the Dharma, in the teachings, and we take refuge in the community, in the Sangha. So you are always welcome. When you come in here, you are always home, and our hearts are always open. So may you take this Buddha nature out into the world and give it to each and every person you meet as we pause and then share. Have a lovely Sunday. Please stay and have tea and snacks and donuts. Many people, many of our members have brought things in the foyer. Thank you.